That's it. Let's rock and roll! Bye-bye, horses!
I should have brought my tripod.
We have approximately 219 minutes of battery time remaining.
Approximately. It's supposed to be approximately that specific.
Well, it's fairly specific. It started off at 222 minutes 3 minutes ago.
Not bad.
Where are you going? That's the entrance there.
Oh, I thought you were going round to the...
No, mate, that's
Creek.
where we're going.
Okay, now so I can turn around.
For the benefit of the tape, we have just taken a wrong turning. There's a lot of people here, so let's yell out, napalm! And run away.
I'm not going to do it now because it's all filthy.
Yeah. It was all filthy then, but it was in the name of art.
No, it was filthy at the time as well.
Yeah.
And this is where the hat was. And when I came up, I ran down and I sort of ran down these little steppy things here. I sort of stopped here, looked over and, oh, there's my hat. Went down.
It's where we saw sort of our first impressions of the walker.
Yeah, you were filming it from here.
Yeah, and she walks along here with her leg, comes down, comes around, and checks out the doctor.
Runs over these rocks. And we told that boy still not carried to that point.
It doesn't matter, I can voice it over.
Or text commentary.
Or text commentary, yeah.
And remember, this is over here was where you filmed the walker walking along.
Oh, it wasn't over here, it was underwater.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was such shallow tide.
But up here was where
Some sort of alien technology.
that campfire up there that's been here for years since I was doing high school up here at Pat's.
And you'll recognise that from that shot at the start of last year's play tape.
Yes, where they were taped over survived a bit. That was where I had them sitting around, but you'll notice that we've also got a lot of concrete with graffiti there. So I had to be careful with my shots that when I was filming I didn't get any of that concrete wall.
It's got to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And that was where one of those rocks over there was where I put the Dalek on, a little Dapole Dalek for the footage, and Donna, when she was playing Shemp, came out of those trees over there, and that was where she got attacked.
That's who was
by the
playing
Dalek.
Shemp, that's right. And Jeannie was Larry.
I was quite amazed at how realistic a toy Dalek and a toy Cyberman came up on that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the out of focus Cyberman with the waves lapping behind, it was not bad.
Well, how I really just filmed that was I walked to the edge of the water, held the camera, and just dangled him in front of the thing. If you watch the bloopers reel, you'll see I'm getting the shit because he's not in focus.
And he didn't. And poor
Darren?
Rocky didn't know how to adjust the focus on the camera we were using at the time.
Yeah. Oh.
The title shot for Deep Undercurrents is the one we actually used because I couldn't get that bloody seagull footage to work in the studio. Just here. The report ends up at the end of that clip.
It's an interesting bit of trivia for you. In 6 Minute Survivor, if you look closely, in the campfire, you can see the Dapole Dalek hiding in between one of the rocks.
Really? So anyway, bit of a quick interview snippet, Darren. When you were writing the script, did you get any impression, just by coincidence, that it was anything vaguely like this?
I had the impression of sand. I was probably thinking more sand hills because that's more what I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Yeah. Where my grandparents lived in Harrington, there's down the road from there some lovely sand hills. So sand hilly beach. So I guess I was kind of picturing that kind of thing. But this is
so nothing as rocky and decayed as this.
No, I mean this is a much sort of more dramatic.
It adds a lovely broken atmosphere to it.
Do you think it's a good location?
Yeah, amazing.
I think the broken imagery works well because the aliens are shattered. They're stuck here. The Earth is being shattered. The guy's personality has been shattered.
There. Yeah. But of course, when we filmed Deep Undercurrents, there was a lot less water. in the ocean.
There was substantially less water. Not when we did the location recce. There was plenty
there
of
was
water.
plenty of water.
As I could see.
More water than this.
Oh yeah.
So we're kind of in the middle here at the moment.
Yeah, when we were here, the edge of the tide was probably a good 20-25 metres further out.
The edge of the tide
It was halfway down the pier, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was through. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, it was an obvious thing to do. Why didn't we check the tide
But
time?
Kane was really that far out. I mean, I think today, now, Kane could have gone out half the distance and sunk no problem.
Well, yeah, I'm going to just go again. I walk backwards. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then like 10 minutes later, his ankles. Well, just go down. It's like,
okay, but because there's just no water, it was ridiculously low tide.
And around there was where your career was all washed up.
Oh, yeah. And then actually, if you watch the bloopers of Deep Undercurrents closely, you'll see that when he says that, I tried to do some stupid Elvis Presley bloody bullshit, and I sort of tripped. I really had tripped over in the water, and I nearly fell face first onto a rock. There was a big rock under the ground. I nearly went crack. I nearly would have broken my nose or something. So it was like, oh my god, I nearly fell over and cracked.
sort of nasal nose doctor from that point on.
Well, I wouldn't have had a nose. I would have had to go into hospital, I suspect. Because it was a really sharp, yucky rock. I sort of
bloody
tripped
lucky
over
you
the edge.
didn't, because otherwise we would have lost a fantastic film.
Well, actually, no, we wouldn't have, because we would have in that regard.
Because that was towards the beginning of it.
But we also would have been able to come back when there was more water.
True, true.
Do you want to keep on hiking on down?
Why not? Why not?
Let's go.
Very close to
Very
it.
close to it.
Someone should do a Charlton Heston of this. That's, the underground train station.
God damn you! Oh, hang on, now I feel it all over again. And there's no rocks.
I said, check out this location, it's fantastic.
Because we could just do everything here.
Mentally, I've always come back here thinking, how can I do more films here? And we walked along, came up with all these great set pieces that ended up being in the storyline for part 3, which got chucked out because it didn't fit, and you came up with a much tighter ending that wouldn't have taken an hour to get through.
Yes.
At the end of the day, so we dropped that, but hopefully some of those set pieces will turn up again one day. And then by the end of the walk, we ended up at a cafe. The way I was positioned, I had my eyes looking straight up this hilly street, and then magic was born at that point, I think.
Where that major battle sequence that Beethoven's been talking about, the Death Harvest became born. We had the idea of the Doctor teaming up with Unit.
Which is why Vance is with Unit in the film still.
And essentially what they did is they were walking down this path.
Sort of on their way to on their way to attack the alien headquarters. That's right.
And they got to this point, and suddenly they get ambushed by a group of
aliens who
hop up out of the rocks up the top
and just
there.
start heading on down, shooting down, fighting.
And they come out of the water and all this other bollocks, and they come out from behind trees and rocks, and it was just going to be a huge ambush.
It was going to be that gorgeous row of monsters coming out of the water shot that you've seen so many times in Doctor Who.
I'd never get sick of.
No, you never get sick of them, and they're real fun to shoot. And
it just seemed like the perfect outcrop, because there are all these little alcoves where you can position yourself quite safely.
Because the actual idea for having them hop out of the top, I think 2 or 3 weeks before we actually did the recce, I'd been watching Frontier in Space. And when the Doctor and the team, the Master and all that land on that planet, when the Doctor lands with the Master and that, there's this wonderful sequence where they're walking through a quarry, and then suddenly half a dozen Daleks appear along the crest of the ridge, and that was the idea. That imagery is stuck in my head.
Like if you look down from here, you can see that it would almost be as if they're just floating on over.
So that was
it almost looks like they've got a rocky fence up there to climb over.
Yeah. So that's the plan anyway, and unfortunately.
And as we went along, me being the visual, I want to return to my action-packed childhood kind of director that I am, I was constantly jumping off the path down onto the rocks and looking up thinking, oh, that'd make a great shot, or that'd make a good low-angle shot of the path and all that, which is why we have a couple of low-angle shots of the path in Deep Undercurrents.
Yes, with Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is it here.
I remember recording the wiki footage.
Susanna came out from behind the round area.
That's right. Yes.
And he was attacked here.
Yeah. And here's another one of those proposed Death Harvest ambush things. I think by the end of it, we decided that they would get ambushed about 15 times. They'd be down to 3 soldiers left by the end of the walk.
Yeah.
A little implausible, but
So we were leading up to something.
that's right. Every single ambush was a terrific ambush.
Yeah.
We had to have them all.
The whole point of it was that by the time the Doctor and Vince got to the alien headquarters, it was just the 2 of them and I think 1 unit captain or something. Yeah. So they were the only ones that were like left.
When the aliens were set to come out of the water, we were going to have sort of, you know, pitched fight scenes on the sand as well, people being thrown down, drowned in the water, you name it, getting whacked against rocks. It's going to be a stuntman's nightmare, but absolutely terrific and exciting.
Action by Havoc.
Do you actually have any stuntmen in
No.
PTR?
No, it was just
Me.
us. We just
You
do
recall
it
my stunt in Scott's short film, that's about it. We decide to feel like 7-year-old boys and we chuck ourselves at it, basically.
And then we had the stunts in Bride of the Colossal Atomic War Beast.
Oh, yes.
You and Scott fighting again, and
Any blood
actually-
splattering?
Yes. And then we had in Rapture we attempted an attack sequence with a knife.
Yeah, well, could have worked.
It could have worked.
Jacob's phone did fall into your hat.
Yes, that's right. And that was an absolute accident. Which we
Sadly, it didn't get on film.
No, well, it did.
I believe.
Out of shot.
Oh,
Out of
yes.
shot.
This was a nice little...
But as you can see, Darren, this is a location you can do so much with it. It's one place that you can do so much, and we really haven't. Although we've been here a couple of times already, we really haven't done as much as you can with it.
And you go from area to area, and it's
Changes
a whole new location.
It's good now that I've been here because every time you say, can you write me a film script, I'll be able to set them all here.
Sounds
I'm
good
quite
to me.
happy to. Nose pointing outwards.
And it was all going to be this continuous shot from the Doctor's point of view from the table,
Yeah.
of it coming down and then come around, and then it was going to cut to an extreme close-up on the ground of the front wheel,